The only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking, don't settle. That's a quote from the late and great Steve Jobs, and I think that most of us that are watching this video working in sales can relate to this quote. Most people accept the life that's handed to them. They mistake comfort for fulfillment, stability for success, but you're here watching this video, which means that part of you knows that you're meant for more. In my last video, I talked about how sales reps making $150K a year are actually broke, and we're gonna build on that in this video. I'd recommend that you go and watch that video after this one, but make sure you watch this one first. Here's the deal. You're trapped in a commission hamster wheel. You're building somebody else's empire, chasing quotas that keep creeping up or are dramatically raised month after month, quarter after quarter, year after year. And for what? A Lexus lease and a nice apartment? 73% of sales reps are burnt out. Average tenure is only 1.8 years. We all know this is not sustainable. You wake up every morning knowing that you're capable of more, but you're stuck in this endless cycle. Hit quota, get a bigger quota. Close deals, get a harder territory. Make money, get a quick dopamine hit when your commission check hits, but watch most of it disappear to taxes and the stress-induced spending cycle that comes with hating your life Monday through Friday. In this video, I'm going to present another option to you. One that worked for me, took me from a 6-figure sales rep to a 7-figure entrepreneur. I was able to quit my job in about 6 months, and this is exactly what I did to quit my 6-figure job, tell my boss to go fuck himself, and create a 7-figure business that I was able to use to quit my job in about 6 months and have our first paying client in about 2 weeks after starting the company. I'm going to break down the exact blueprint. We're going to cover how to get started when you're still employed. We're going to talk about the business model that I use and that you can use to weaponize your sales skills that's perfect for sales reps. And we're going to talk about a roadmap to potentially hit $10,000 per month in 90 days. I've helped 1,300 folks quit their 9-to-5 jobs on the back of this business model, and there's no reason why you will be any different if you get started. Your sales manager and boss are going to hate me for recording this video, but this is not about them. It's about you actually building something for yourself. Here's what most people get wrong about starting a business. I'm going to tell you something that might piss you off, but you need to hear it because I needed to hear it. You are being taken advantage of, and your skills are being systematically harvested by the corporate machine. Your skills, your drive, your intelligence, it's all being extracted to build somebody else's empire while you're given a small commission percentage. You're trading your time for dollars, and somebody else is benefiting from that. Think about it. You generate hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars in revenue for your company every single year, and what do you get? A salary that barely covers your lifestyle, a commission that's structured to keep you hungry, and a 401k that might allow you to retire when you're 70 if the market doesn't crash. They've convinced you that this is success, that having a good sales job means that you made it. I felt the exact same way. I'd been promoted 3 times in 3 years. I went from making about $45,000 total comp to making $150,000 in about 3 years. I thought it was the shit until I realized that I wasn't. Here's what they don't want you to realize. You've been conditioned to see yourself as an employee when you're actually an underpaid entrepreneur who's been convinced to work for someone else. Every single day, you do what entrepreneurs do. Prospecting, generating leads, building relationships out of nothing, closing deals, managing pipelines. This is business ownership. The only difference is that right now somebody else is getting the equity and you're getting a paycheck. They've convinced you that your skills are only valuable as part of their system, that you need their brand, their leads, their territory, their support to be successful. But when you wake up, you realize that you already have 90% of starting a business in your head. You weren't meant to chase somebody else's quotas forever. No sales rep is. You're meant for more. Your mind, your abilities, your time, they deserve to compound for you, not for them. Here's what'll really blow your mind when you realize it. Every skill that makes you valuable to your current employer makes you a formidable business owner. Cold calling, you're doing it every day. Lead generation, you can do it in your sleep. Closing deals, literally what you're known for. You literally have been trained and you've been personal developing yourself in every area of business management. Most entrepreneurs would kill to have just one skill that salespeople possess. Over the last 10 years of running my company, I've met so many business owners and so many of them lack basic sales skills. And that's why so many businesses fail. And yet we're using these skills to build somebody else's castle. Now, there's a business model that weaponizes exactly what you already know, but most sales reps won't discover it because it threatens the exact system that they work for. The moment you realize you're not an employee who happens to sell, you're a business owner who's been convinced to work for pennies on the dollar, that's when everything changes. I know this because I lived it. I was making 6 figures in tech sales, crushing quotas. I was like the golden boy within the company. I was the most successful sales rep they ever had on staff. Everybody thought that I'd made it, but I was dying inside. I realized that I was building somebody else's dream while my own dreams collected dust. So I decided to take what they taught me and use it for myself. Within 90 days, my business partner and I had a business that was big enough where we could start planning our quit date. Within 6 months, we'd replaced our income. We were able to give them our resignation and quit our jobs. The best part though was that I was actually building something that was mine. Here's the 90-day blueprint to replace your sales income. Step 1 is you want to start while you're still employed. The beautiful thing about the business model that I'm going to get into here in just a minute is that it's something that you can do when you are actively employed. There's no need to quit your job, burn the boats, risk everything, walk away from all the income that you're making right now, because I can say from experience, I didn't want to do that. It's entirely possible to set up all of your business infrastructure on your evenings and your weekends. It's exactly what my business partner Derek and I did. We locked ourselves in his apartment one Saturday for like 8 hours, picked our name, formed our LLC, built our website, all this stuff, one single day. All you need is an LLC, a website, a name for your agency, professional email. You can literally go through all this stuff with ChatGPT. It could not be any easier at this point. So why can this business be run as a side hustle? Because it scales with you. You're not managing inventory. You don't need office space. You don't even need employees right away. One person can scale this business to easily $10,000 per month without even breaking a sweat. You can build campaigns, do all of the business work outside of office hours, and the business runs itself during the day while you're busy at your day job. If you're like me, you can take calls over your lunch break, after work, and respond to clients via email or text during the day. This is a business that you can build in the cracks of your day, the same cracks that you'd probably be using just to scroll social media right now. So now let's move into what the business model actually is and how we can use this to weaponize our sales skills. The business model that I use to go from a 6-figure salesperson to a 7-figure entrepreneur is called an LGA, or a lead generation agency. Here's what it is. You help businesses get more customer in the form of oxygen, also known as leads. It's the single most important thing to their business. They cannot live without it, and the market is growing 15% year over year. The opportunity has never been bigger. So here's the business model broken down step by step. There's 3 key things that we do. If you watch my last video, this will look familiar. First of all, we launch ads. Google ads, Meta ads, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. We have traffic sources. The goal here is to get somebody that's actively searching for something. So as an example, if you are working with an electrician, somebody that's looking for an electrician in the local area. Best lead source for this is going to be a Google ad. It looks a little bit like this. The second thing that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take that traffic and send it to a landing page or a lead capture page. All of us have seen this. You fill in your name, your email, your phone number. We capture their information on the landing page. These are very easy to set up. They're copy paste for us at this point. You can set these up in a couple of minutes for your clients. Then after we capture their information, we're going to follow up with them via an SMS or some emails, hand them off to our clients in the form of a scheduled appointment, quote, demo, whatever the deliverable for them is. That's the entire business model from top to bottom, start to finish. That's all that there is. But here's why this business model is the only business model that I would start if I was a sales rep today. You already know how the lead lifecycle works. There's a great quote: solve your own problems and then sell the solution. This is exactly what we're doing here. It's a business model that you can use the existing skills that you have to get clients, as well as understanding how the services actually work when you deliver for clients. You understand what a qualified lead looks like. You know the difference between a tire kicker and somebody that's ready to buy. The best part too is that this is a service-based business. It's something that starts making money immediately, and as long as you're fulfilling the services yourself, which are very easy to learn, you're at 100% margin, which means every single dollar that you bring home is yours. You don't need to build a product. You don't need inventory. You don't need a massive upfront investment. These are huge things that hold most people back from starting businesses. This business model has none of that. There could be no less friction to get started. The way that we got our first client was literally just by cold calling them. So you can literally just cold call businesses, offer your services. I'll have some future videos on how to do this exactly, but if you want to put together a plan and learn a little bit more about how this works, check out the link in the description. But you're literally able to start getting clients and closing deals using your existing skill set. No learning curve on the selling part, because you already know that, and you already know how to do that better than 99% of people. Most business owners are incredible at their craft, but they're terrible at getting customers. They can run a great electrician company, but they have no idea how to get their next client. They can fix cars, but they have no idea how to do marketing. This is where you come in. You're not just bringing them leads, you're bringing them the lifeblood and oxygen of their business. You're literally handing them money in the form of customers. And why this is so important is it takes you from trading your time for dollars to what's called value-based pricing. This is why many of our clients pay us $5,000, $8,000, $10,000 per month, because the ROI justification of the money that we're bringing back to them makes it make sense for them to pay us that much. Now, that being said, let's break into the 90-day roadmap of how you can take this business and make your first $10,000 per month. Now I'm going to break this down into a 3-month sequence. And this is basically exactly what we did in the first 3 months of starting our agency. So month 1, week 1, the first thing that we're going to want to do is we're going to want to go ahead and set up our business. We're going to get our LLC, basic website, professional email, pick a logo, pick a name, basic stuff. This should not take you more than a couple of days, and people inside of our coaching, which you can check out in the description down below, usually get through this in a couple of hours. We walk them through it, make it super easy, really easy to get this started. All right, so for weeks 2 to 3, after we have our business set up, the next thing that we're going to want to get is some experience. Now, a lot of people watching this are like, hey, I understand how this works in theory, but I've never run ads before. I don't know how this should work. First of all, we teach that in great detail in our coaching program. Feel free to check that out in the description down below. Basically, all we're going to do here is we're going to look for people in our local market that are not doing a good job when it comes to the lead generation process. So a good thing to do is go to Google as an example, search for electricians in your local market. See those that don't have a good lead capture, opt in for some forms. If they don't follow up with you at all, there's a ton of room for improvement, and they're leaving a lot of money on the table. These are good businesses to reach out to and offer a free trial. The reason why we want to offer a free trial is A, it makes it way less stressful for you to get your first client on board, and 2, it helps build a lot of trust with them because you're willing to work with them for free in exchange for some experience. We're going to use this free trial client in a second to catapult ourselves to our first paying client. The biggest thing here, though, is this is going to help us overcome the biggest objection that we're going to have when we reach out to potential paying clients, which is, what experience do you have? It's also going to give us a lot of confidence because we'll have been there, done that, gone through some of this before. I've seen a ton of people. We just had a couple of folks join our coaching. Good one is Sophia. She literally a couple days after joining our coaching program reached out to some people, did some networking, and locked down her first free trial client in a couple of days. A lot of businesses will tell you no, but we're in sales. We're battle hardened. We're going to get through those no's, get to the yeses. Somebody out there would be more than willing to let you work for them for free. Now for week 4, we're gonna go ahead and take that experience that we got from that free trial client. We're gonna start chasing paying clients. We're gonna take that expertise, create a case study around it, doctor it up. I mean, you've dealt with case studies in your sales job, I'm sure, and then have something that we can use to market ourselves. Talk about some of the leads that we brought them, talk about some of the process improvements that we made, and this is gonna look really good when we start reaching out to paying clients. Now, the standard rate that I suggest most agency owners start at for their first paying client is $1,000 to $2,000 per month. As I mentioned, our agency, we've been at this for 10 years now. It's not uncommon for clients to pay us $8,000 and up a month. But when you're first starting out, that's just going to be way too much for the value that you're going to be able to bring. I heard a great quote once. If you're watching this and you're thinking to yourself, well, I really don't have any experience at all. Why would somebody hire me even after I've done a free trial? Quote says, you don't have to be an expert to deliver value. There's so many businesses out there right now that know that they're leaving money on the table. They don't have a ton of money to pay a super big agency like us, $8,000 per month, which is, what it might cost to work with us. And they would love to find an agency or a professional that they could work with that's a little bit more in their price range. So that $1,000 to $2,000 per month is a really great rate to start, and then you can increase your rates from there. Now, month 2 is where we're going to start building some momentum. In month 2, it's completely realistic to be at $3,000, $4,000 per month. You've got 1, 2, maybe 3 paying clients. You're starting to increase your rates a little bit. This is also where niche selection starts to be a little bit more critical. Instead of trying to help everybody, I suggest that you maybe consider refining to one single niche. We find that local businesses tend to be the best to work with, like people like garage door replacements, electricians, plumbers. These types of folks need leads all day, every day, and it's literally the lifeblood of their business. They're also oftentimes willing to work with several different agencies at once with a bunch of different lead sources. They want all the leads that they can get because they got to keep their team busy. When we pick a specific niche, it also helps us become the de facto go-to person in that local market. So if you are just working as an example with garage door companies and you start building a name for yourself within that, there's a lot of other garage door companies that are going to be looking at their competition, seeing them take all of their business and wanting to have a piece of what it is that they're doing. You can also take that local market and expand to markets outside if you don't want to work with competitors in the local area. As you start building your name, you also start becoming what's called a specialist. When you do this, 2 things happen. 1, you can start charging a lot more because you are a specialist. And 2, referrals start coming in because other people know each other and it's a tight-knit community. A lot of those guys talk to each other. So the referral engine starts becoming a really, really big factor. Today, I would say probably, I haven't done the math recently, but I'd say about 7 in 10 clients that we're currently doing business with have come from referrals from other folks that we did a great job on in the exact same niche as our current clients. The big thing though is even as we're scaling our agency, we want to keep our clients happy. Happy clients continue to pay us. They stick around month after month after month, and they really help us scale. I see a lot of new agency owners not worry about actually keeping their clients happy. They are always worrying about getting the next client, and they're always churning clients. It's really easy to keep clients happy. It's really easy to provide great results. You just got to keep your eye on the ball. Now, month 3, I call escape velocity. It's very possible within the first 90 days, you could be scaling to $10,000 per month if you're really working hard at this. You're going to have to be disciplined. You're going to have a call sheet to hit over your lunch break or after work or before work. You're going to have to find those little pockets where normally you're just doom scrolling on TikTok and allocate that time that you normally would be wasting to growing your company if you really want to hit these types of numbers in the first 90 days. I've seen it before. The people that did it were total killers and they were super focused. Now, month 3 is where systems are really going to come into play as well. Because you've been working with a couple of clients, you can start building a repeatable process. Today, all of our clients follow the exact same template. All of our landing pages are identical. All of our ad copy and creative is mostly identical. All we do is we swap out logos, we swap out the brand, the feel, those types of things. But the entire system and process can literally be copy-paste from one client to the next client to the next. At this point as well, our clients are happy. We're delivering results. Word is starting to spread. We're getting referrals without even having to ask for them. All this can happen in the first 90 days. If you keep doing the outreach, if you keep doing the things that you've been doing for the first couple of months, $10,000 per month is absolutely achievable in month 3. But the most important thing is throughout these first 3 months, the most important thing here is that something has really started to shift in our mind. It goes back to what I was saying at the beginning. You stop thinking like an employee, you start thinking like a business owner. You're not chasing quotas anymore. There's less stress in your day job because you have a backup plan. You have an escape plan that you've been building on the side. You're building systems, you're creating value, and most importantly, you start waking up excited about your business, not dreading another day of building somebody else's empire. Look, at the end of the day, you have 2 choices. You can keep building a business for somebody else. You can keep waiting for your yearly raise and your ever-growing quota. Maybe you hit a big commission here and there, you feel fulfilled for a while, and then you realize that's it. Or you can take what they've taught you and start building something for yourself. The same skills that make you successful as a salesperson roll directly into starting your own business. You just need to pick the right vehicle. Question is, are you going to use those skills to keep making somebody else rich, or are you going to use them to set yourself free? That's it for this video. Like I said, go watch the previous video that I posted on my channel. If you haven't already, hit me with a subscribe. Hit me with a like if you found this video valuable. And if you want to work together, take a look at the link in the description down below. There's a full 30-minute training where I walk through everything on this with my business partner, Derek, talk about our whole story in super fine detail, talk about why we landed on the LGA model, why we chose it, break down this entire process from top to bottom, start to finish. And if you'd like to, you can book a call with us directly to talk about putting together a 90-day escape plan. Let me know what questions you guys have in the comments down below. I'm trying to connect with as many of you as I possibly can. And a lot of the questions that you guys ask are probably what I'm going to make my future videos about. So help me out and ask some questions in the comments. Much love. See you in the next video.